Okay, hi everyone. It is Wednesday, which means it's time for another Mini Mayhem. I am Vee Mus'e. I will be your host for this afternoon. I am so excited to share these miniatures with you today. As you know, WizKids, we have our very own line of unpainted miniatures, and this is a new set that will be coming to you in December. So, before we get into it, before I start showing off all the incredible details of these miniatures, don't forget, if you're new here, you're always welcome to subscribe. It is down below. Just click that subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell so that you'll get notifications when we go live for Mini Mayhem, what am I saying? As we go live for Mini Mayhem, as well as for our other live stream that we have going on every Tuesday called Much Ado About Gaming. And you'll also get notified when we have fantastic videos coming out, like the current happening right now this week, the Scott Porter unboxings for our Marvel Hero Clicks X-Men House of X. If you haven't caught those yet, you might want to, especially if you are a Marvel fan. That all being said, today we're focusing on Magic the Gathering because we are going to have a line of unpainted miniatures coming out for Magic the Gathering, and let me tell you, these minis are stunning. I am so excited to see these and to share them with you, and I'm also sitting here already thinking about how I want to paint these up, which for me, you know, my unpainted miniature collection is definitely, it's a thing. It's a real thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these minis. Now, I got something called a preview box at hand, which means I don't have the blisters. So I don't have them in their blisters. You won't see what they look like in blister. But these will be available to you at your FLGS, Friendly Local Game Store, for those of you who are not aware of that one. But it will be at your FLGS, again, December 2nd. So if you see these minis and you want to get a hold of these minis, you want to contact them. If you do not have an FLGS, then by all means, please go to shop.wizkids.com and check these out there. So that's your resources for where you'll be able to find these. But I have a good chunk to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you will get in each blister together. So some of these have multiple packs, which means there's more than one mini in them. Others are just a singular mini because, you know, size and everything like that. They are the standard pricing that we've had going on before for things like Nolzers as well as the deep cuts. So you have your $4.99, your $8.99, and your $14.99. I will make sure to mention these to you. Also, all this information is in the description down below. So if you need to go back and double check, I made sure I have SKU as well as MSRP and the name of the miniatures there for you as well to make it easier for you after the fact. And hello and welcome, Hey Calkins and RJ and Calcius. Did I get that right? I hope I got that right. So, good to see you in the chat. That brings me to, if you have any questions, simply type in bold, not bold, caps. I wish we could have bold because that would make it so much easier. Simply type in caps question, then you have your question follow right behind, and I will do my best to answer them for you. So that all being said, we're going to switch cameras, and if you're new to the stream, keep in mind I will be toggling back and forth. Focus is not necessarily on the table, so things will go out of focus once I put it on the table. It's more bringing things up here for you to enjoy and see in full detail. I am going to need to do some toggling back and forth because of the different sizes of these miniatures, because some of them just sort of eat up the whole camera. So just, you know, patience is appreciated while I kind of fix things, because I want to make sure you can really see. I mean, these are like chef kiss gorgeous. In fact, there's one I'm tempted to wait till the very end because it is my utmost favorite one. I think I might do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to first start off with the Magic the Gathering Unpainted Miniatures. That's the official name of the line. It is I think this is Joraga Treespeaker, or is it I think it is Joraga. I'm not a Magic the Gathering aficionado. I'm more the D&D girl in this case. So it's the Joraga Treespeaker as well as the Warcaller. So I'm going to show you these two right now. So it is these two minis who will be coming in a blister pack together for $4.99. Okay, so you get these two miniatures. And like all of our other unpainted miniatures, these come primed. So take them out of the box, ready to paint. And you can see you have both of these going right now. So I'm going to put, this is the Treespeaker, and this one is the Warcaller. Sorry, I'm looking for my camera. There's the Warcaller. All right, so let's take a look at the Treespeaker first. So here is the Treespeaker, and you can see she has this great hooded cape and this magic detail going on here. I'm just trying to find my sweet spot. There we go. And this magic detail in the translucent plastic which if you're new to miniature painting, things like washes and inks are fantastic for this style of plastic, so you can still keep that transparency going on and have the light play through. Just something to keep in mind. And the staff, you can see the crook of the staff. You have her quiver full of arrows, the sword at the side, and she's also got all these other lovely accoutrements on her belt. And I'm loving the pointed ears, how they're just elongated and showing off. Big shocker. Huge shocker. Hello, happy little hero clicks. Yeah, the swirl is absolutely, it's one of these, it's more, you're going to see more of these spell details coming through, and I am thrilled to see them. It's just become a wonderful aspect of these miniatures to really show off the details here. So this is the Treespeaker, and then again, remember we have the Warcaller, the Jorga Warcaller, as well, in the same blister. So 2 miniatures for $4.99. So here they are. Similar deal. I love this lunging pose. The poses are getting super dynamic and showing this action, which really, in my opinion, adds to what happens when you put these on the table. As you can see, you have got these great details. Even though the tunic's got the, you know, it's flaring out, you have, looks like a pouch there. Yep, you have a pouch with the flap and the buckle. Knee-high boots. Even the boots have, let me get a little shade here. Even the boots have this detail going on of sort of quilting, so like padded leather. And again, you have more pouches on the belt. He too has a hood, but the hood is down. And again, those elongated, pointy ears. Really is such a great sculpt. So that is the first set that I wanted to share with you. And hello, Matthew. Thank you very much. I'm just quick looking over here. You'd be surprised. The staff is not going to be as bad as you think. I will say that. I recommend if you're going to go and paint this, let's talk about that miniature painting approach. If you're going to go in to paint the staff first. If it comes to a matter of you've gotten opaque paint onto your translucent plastic, all you need to do is take an old paintbrush, not one that you like to use for detail work or anything like that. Take an old paintbrush, get a hold of some rubbing alcohol, at least 70%. 90% is best, but 70% works. You go in with that paintbrush and you can actually lift the paint off the translucent plastic and remove any opaque paint. Let it dry thoroughly, and then you can go back in and put your wash or ink on. So it's actually not that bad. So that would be my tip for you for painting the magic spell with that swirl factor. And hello, Robert. Did I say hello to you? Yes. And then we have, coming up, this is the next one. This one is the Borborygmos, I think is the pronunciation here. And he is a big one. So this one is going for $14.99 in one of those bigger blister packs. And this is actually where I need to, like I said, I need to toggle the focus here. So let me go back over here and get the sweet spot for him. I'm just gonna be close to the table. Here we go. So as you can see, this, you know, pretty massive. Good size here. And it is the Borborygmos, or Moss. And you have this axe with stone axe with a great wood detail, lashings around the stone and around the handle, wraps around the wrist, the horns. I'm really digging what's happening with horns lately and this whole texture that's happening here. The ridges of the horns and the expression on the face. I mean, you can practically hear the growl coming out. The one eye with the thick brow bone overhead. And then you have the skull on the shoulder with the tusks. This is one of those minis, the more you look at it, let me get them down to the sweet spot again, the more you look at it, the more these details that are going to pop out at you. You have this stone necklace underneath in the wrappings to keep the armor on. This fur detail, same thing for loincloth. You have the ridges in the knees and the musculature popping out. All really fantastic. And this is another one of those ones where I'm like, I would love to be able to get this paint up just because all those aspects that are included. but you're going to be able to get a hold of this guy. Again, all early December. December 2nd is the target date. Let me just look over here. Oh, you're very welcome. And he's a very big boy. Yeah, wow is right. So this is one of the bigger ones. You're going to get a few big ones in this new set that's coming out. Again, this is Magic the Gathering. So a new line that we're doing with our unpainted miniatures. Let me put him down. And now we're going to switch over to the Coralhelm Commander and the Halimar Wavewatch. So that one, and I need to get through. Here we go. So this is another double pack. There's 2 in this one. There's 2 of them. And once again, we're toggling. Simply because. All right, so here we go. So this one is the Commander, and this one is the Wavewatch. So let's look at the Commander first. Again, this is the Coralhelm Commander. You'll get these 2 in the blister for $4.99. And again, you're seeing all of these. It's the textures that are really popping these miniatures. And the pose of the pointed finger. I'm really digging that one. And look at the details here in the folds of the fabric. I think this is so interesting. You have these openings here. But a lot of rich details are in these miniatures, even down to the fins on the calves. Again, you have the pouch going on and this helmet. The helmet has all these like smaller horn details and the larger horns going on. And just this stern look, which is so appropriate with the pointed finger. These are Magic the Gathering. They're from Magic the Gathering. In terms of whether they're associated with certain cards, I am not sure. I am not a Magic the Gathering player. But they are official Magic the Gathering miniatures. To answer your question there, happy little hero clicks. So that's the one. Now let's take a look at the Halimar Wavewatch. So again, you have this alert, weapon at the ready. Get the sweet spot, there we go. And more of these details. Like just look at the boots that we have going on here. You can see all the texture that's gone into the armor work. This is the tricky thing with white. White always has a habit to flare out in everything. So every so often I will be using my hand to just sort of shield a little bit to highlight certain points. And actually, let me just really quickly show you scale. Okay, I'm gonna break out the big guy again. So here's the big guy. And here is the Halimar Wavewatch. That's, you know, a significant difference there. They're a little fuzzy because, you know, it just adjusted. But that gives you a sense. I mean, it's a pretty massive mini, but so dang cool. I'm really excited for that one. Now, they will be coming with the typical black discs if you want to put them on those black disc bases, or if you want to kind of do your own thing, by all means, you could. Kit bash. I'm a fan of kit bashing bases especially. So that is that particular set. So again, it is these 2 together, $4.99, and it is the Coralhelm Commander and the Halimar Wavewatch. They come together in a set. So we're going to put these 2 back, and then this next one. Speaking of those clear plastics, this one is called the Obsidat Ghost Council. So I'm going to get these all out. And what you're going to be getting are 5 translucent miniatures and a base. So here is the base, and the base is specific to these. And I want to explain this set for you, because these all come in a set, and this is a set that is $8.99. All right, so it's not the $4.99, it is $8.99. But you can see there are these key shapes here, and that is to fit in with these 5 miniatures. So they each have their own assigned key, basically. So I'm going to just start showing you these. And again, it's that lovely translucent plastic, but there's still so much detail going on here. So it's one of those things where you could very easily just do a wash or 2 on these to give them a tint, or even ink. Inks work well too. But then on the bottom, you see there's going to be a different shape for each of these. So for this one, I needed to put it on this one here. All right, so I'm going to take this first one and pop it onto its base, and it locks on. So you can see it like that. So I'm going to show you these individually and then put them onto the base so you can see it that way. And then here we have another one. I love the robes and the draping. But again, you can see this has a different shape to the bottom. So with this shape, it's going to go onto this one. And again, I'm just going to press down, and it too will lock into place. We're going to keep going. This is the larger one of the minis that are included with this one. Same deal with the plastic. As you can see, different shape here. This one is going to go over, double checking my shape. This one should go here, I believe. Is that the one? I think this one, or is it this one? Oh, hold on. Scratch that, or did I do it right? No, that was right. Bear with me. So this one is going to go, no, that is correct. Right there. There we go. So now we have the 3 on there. It looks really cool when it's all put together too, so I want to get this put together so you can see. And then we have, this one is faceless, which I find, this is the second time I've brought up Bedknobs and Broomsticks this week, which I find hysterical. This reminds me of like when the armor came back to life, because it's basically the cloak and there's no face in there, which is just wonderfully creepy. And again, we have the special shape here, you can see right there, and that one is going to go here. And I love the medallion going on in the middle. This almost like star flower-like. So we're almost together, and here is the last one. This rather stern-looking fellow. And again, the pose of the hand, I don't know if you can see that, but the raised finger pose, those little extra touches. And you can see the light plays through these quite nicely. And they go here. And that gives you the whole grouping. So this is one of those things where when you go to paint it, absolutely paint the base separately. I wouldn't put them on first. Paint the base separately. Get all these minis tinted, painted, however you choose to do it. And then you can put them onto the base itself and glue it on if you so choose. It's actually pretty secure with how it's locked in. Like I'm shaking it right now, nothing's coming off. If you really want to make sure these are attached nicely, then yes, by all means, you can go in and use some sort of super glue. I tend to prefer the Loctite classic liquid, not gel. I will always say this, not gel. Let's see here. Good morning, Leonardo. Thank you for joining. I'm just looking quickly over the chat here and the gamers room. Yes, there's some very cool potential with all of these miniatures that are coming in. Even though it is for Magic the Gathering, you could very easily work these into other role-playing games for those of you who like to use tabletop terrain for your campaigns. All right, so this again is the Obsidat Ghost Council, $8.99, and you get all of this in one blister. So that is that one. I'm actually gonna put this over here rather than take it all apart. Now I'm gonna take a look at the, okay, this one is Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. So here is this one. This is one of my favorite ones because I have a thing for wingspans and feathers, which is pretty much this whole miniature. But this one is back down to $4.99, except you're only getting the one miniature. It does not come as a pair, it comes on its own. But for me, this is truly a beautiful sculpt. You have, right in the center, this gorgeous detail. Again, this floral, almost starburst look on the armor. This flowing hair, the helm, and the swords. The one sword is sort of this rippled sword. And if you ever get a miniature where the plastic is slightly bent or bowed or that type of thing, simply just take a hairdryer to it and then dip it in cold water once you have it shaped out to the form you want it to be. A quick and easy trick for miniatures. I'm just going to give this a spin around so you can see it from all sides. Yes, it's the same scale gamer's room. That's a good question. Oh, and you have this card. That's great. Honestly, I'm going to be perfectly frank. My interactions with Magic the Gathering in the past has been getting the board game for other things and using it in terrain work when I make my own terrain. You're probably there may be fans out there who don't want to hear this, but the cards are great for making portraitures or interior terrain. That's truly my interactions with Magic. Well, outside of, you know, Theros, but that's a different story. So here is this one. Again, solo miniature, $4.99. Again, black base disc will be included and lofted up on that transparent plastic again. So it's one of those things where if you're going in to paint this and you get the paint on that, it's just a rubbing alcohol trick. Like I mentioned before, really does come off beautifully. You can even take a Q-tip too once you get the alcohol onto the stand here, and that'll help wipe it away too. So this again is the Aurelia Exemplar of Justice, which I just think honestly, with the wings, even the feathering, you can see the feathers have textures to them. The pinions and everything. Just beautifully done. I love wingspans that just stretch out in full so you get all of those details. Okay, so that's that one. And again, keep in mind, FLGS, go and visit, well, keep in mind, contact your FLGS. I always like that. Contact your FLGS, see what they're offering. Some are offering where you tell them what you're looking for, and they'll get it pulled together for you and offer curbside pickup. Some are even doing shipping. Some, I think, are even doing like appointments. You make an appointment to go in, so it's like only so many people in the store. So reach out to your FLGS. Let them know you're interested in these unpainted miniatures, and hopefully you can get something pulled together for yourself. That being said, now we're going to go on to, okay, as one who loves vampire stuff, we're moving on to the Vampire Hex Mage and the Vampire Lacerator, which, let me go over here. I need to grab this one and this one. Okay, so this one is the Hex Mage, and this one is the Lacerator. So Hex Mage, Lacerator. But they both have some, especially the Hex Mage has some awesome details. $4.99 again for a 2-pack. They will come together in a blister. And here we have another one of these newer poses that I'm really getting a kick out of. This upstretched arm. I'm liking that we're getting some variety here. There we go. So side by side you can see them. Now let's take a look at the Hex Mage together. So with this Hex Mage, there are, I'm going to have to do the shading from the light a little bit. There are these little details here of sort of like these little insectoid like critters on her leg. And it's a really fun detail. But along with that, you have flowing fabric and more of this texture work here. And the sash. I'm trying to get this so you can see. You can see it a little bit better here on the skirt, these little insect looks. But it's like beetles and things like that, which is perfectly creepy. Very much like sort of the mummy moment with the scarabs crawling out of the sand and on people, but that's a side note. That's a tangent. But this is the Hex Mage, Vampire Hex Mage. And now let's look at the Vampire Lacerator. I also just like saying Lacerator. That's a fun word. But here you have them. Really fantastic details here on the calves, the armor. And the one leg is wrapped. So that's a wrapped leg, you can see right there. Stat action. So you can see the whole leg is wrapped up, whereas the other one is not. It has the boots and the armor on there. You have the musculature and the torso. This fantastic shoulder piece with all of these raised like little horns on it. and the two swords. And the swords have this curvature going on here. That's part of the sword detail. So the blade has these awesome little ridges happening there. So this is a lacerator. Vampire lacerator. And the hair flowing back. I mean, ready for action. Those swings are upcoming. So these two, again, same blister, $4.99. And let's put those back in. I'm definitely planning, that's the other thing. I'm definitely planning on doing a mini paint with one of these, not a 2-pack, but I'm gonna take one of these and paint them in the month of December. So if you see one that you really like the look of, let me know and I will consider doing that one over the others. Let's keep going with this one. We did that, and I have the Stoneforge Mystic and the Core Hookmaster. So that is this one. And this one, again, it's a 2-pack, $4.99. So here you have your Stone Mage, Stoneforge Mystic, and the Core Hookmaster. So here's your Mystic, Stoneforge Mystic, and the Core Hookmaster. Look at these, just the way they're wrapping around. So we're gonna look at the Stoneforge Mystic first, and then we'll switch over. I'm just gonna adjust this ever so slightly. Get this, there we go. So here you can see there's all this detail work. This is why I wanted to get the zoom better. There's all this detail work in here, sort of reminiscent of Celtic knots in the staff. And I love the hook at the top. And then the details carry through in the folds of the fabric, which you can see going on here. And again, if you're joining us later on, these are all primed, so they're ready to get painted right out of the blister. I want to say box because that's kind of what we always default to, but as a blister, look at, you have these swords in the back, short swords going on. And this is detail. I love the work to show the worn factor to the fabric. So tattered with holes in there. And the details carry on through the back portion of the staff. So you can see that going on there. So this is the Stoneforge Mystic. So you'll get this one in the blister, and then you get the Core Hookmaster. And again, more fantastic. Look at, you get the details here happening, that texture of the rope. There we go. And then onto these pretty gnarly looking hooks at the end. This is not something I'd want to encounter in combat. Nope. Here you can see the armor. And the straps to hold the armor onto the torso. You know, this could even be a fun figure for like a barbarian of some sort if you wanted. But both of these come together, and you get, if you look at the feet, you even get the detail in the boots, the leather work, and so the heel sticking out the back. Just spin this around so you can see a little more. And then the facial hair, like this elongated goatee. And the top knot on top of the head. So that's the Core Hookmaster, Stoneforge Mystic, $4.99. You get 2 in the blister. So this one and this one. And again, I don't have the blisters themselves because, hello Cal, thank you for joining us. Because I got these in a whole big box, which I will show to you in a minute, which is why I'm also looking to the side because they are divided from each other. So we put this one back and this one back. And then next up we have the the goblins. Okay, so these are lots of fun. So I have the Goblin Guide and the Goblin Bushwhacker. So this is the Goblin Guide. And this is the Goblin Bushwhacker. And they have sort of a different appearance than other goblins, which I think is lots of fun. But here, let's take a look at the guide first. Again, they come together $4.99. The guide has, it's honestly, it's the back that I'm excited about because you have this sack full of scrolls. So here they are with their sack. All the scrolls are stuffed in there, and there's even more on the back here. Has a little pick going on. And holding tablet or book. Actually, no, it looks like a piece of paper now that I'm saying that. Looks like we have a little tattered piece of paper, so one of the scrolls opened up. And just has this, I'm trying to shade it so you can see the face details better. Just has this grin on its face. It's not an open smile. It's a closed mouth grin. And those long pointy ears. So that is the Goblin Guide. And now we're going to go over to the Goblin Bushwhacker. Similar thing. We have just the smile, the grin. It's not the teeth showing. More tattered clothing. You can see here these tattered edges on the pants. And this crazy club that has these, it's like flails. But again, you have the texture detail of the rope. And his belt does have some work going on there as well. And this little container on the side of the hip. And the fist, like, come at me. Literally this clenched fist. Like, I'm gonna get ya. And there's some wraps around the ankles too. So you get these two together, the Goblin Guide and the Goblin Bushwhacker. And they're just so unique and already have some personality to them. Definitely something I would love to see what people do in terms of how they paint them up and add color, for sure. So that's another set. We put them back. And then we have, let's see, I'm just making sure I've gotten these all. So far, I believe the answer is yes. Now I'm going to move on to another big one. Yep, just double checking. Did I do this one yet? Oh, wait. There's another one I want to do here. I'm going to do this one. Okay, so it's another big one, but we're going to do this one first. So let me toggle. Which we need to get the focus back closer to the table. Okay, here we go. So we have this wonderful one, and this is called Rakdos, Lord of Riots. This is a $14.99, comes in its own blister, so it's one of the bigger blisters. All right, comes in its own blister. But look at this beast. The thing that got me, first of all, it is the chain work and these spikes that you see here on the armor. You can see all these individual links. Let me get, here we go. You have all these individual links. You can see that link work. These are actually nice pointed edges, sharp points, so you get this utterly fierce look to the sculpt. And you even have it happening here on the handle of the weapon. And look at the top here. There's some truly gorgeous details that are getting incorporated into this particular miniature. Again, it's a big one. Let me pull a smaller one up so you can see scale. Rather noticeable. So that gives you your sense of scale. So this is a medium figure. This is your big Rakdos, or Rakdos. And let me just angle around here so you can see. There's even all these other details. You have a skull here with horns. The armbands wrapping around from the shoulder armor. The musculature, even the texture of the skin. You get this fantastic leathery looking skin, which I can't wait to paint and bring that out. And this is just the front here, people. I'm not done yet. Here you have the face with multiple horns going on here. So you have the top horns, and I'm calling it the top horns and sort of like the bottom horns. So you have the great shape here with the top. Again, the ridges with the texturing, but you also have this pock marking. So clearly this guy has been in battle, taken some damage, and it shows, which I very much appreciate. And it's almost a snout-like nose. And the back horns, they curl from the back and up and around the jaw. So that is all the front. And then here we can take a look at the back. So more of these link chains working around the body. And you have a skull amongst them. The cloth again looking ripped and tattered. The spikes continue. I'll show you. Just be careful when you're going to paint because they are a little pointy. But it's so intense, it's fantastic. And here you have the wings. Now, what I wanted to mention is some people like to, if you're not aware of this, you can sort of manipulate and adjust how the wings fold around or open up around a miniature. So say if I wanted to make this a wider wingspan, I'm not going to force it too much because I haven't heated up the plastic, but I could take a hairdryer again, or you can just use some really hot water. If you use a hairdryer or dip it in really hot water, you can then take the plastic, and I'm not going to push it beyond this, you can sort of form the plastic to open up more, and then if you get it to a wingspan that you want, you can quickly dip it into cold water and it'll keep the wings opened up for you. Sometimes you may have to do it a couple times, I have found personally. So I always recommend that if you've gone in to manipulate plastic, give it about 24 hours before proceeding forward. So that is the back of this, and look at the texture here in the wings. Again, lovely leathery detail, and you get the protrusions of the bone underneath, as well as these crazy talons. Look at those talons with the hook. Same thing on the bottom. Nice pointed talons at the base of the wingtips. And this is Rakdos, Lord of Riots, 1499 ideas, and their own blister. Look for a big blister. Honestly, I'm loving this the most, just between the shape and the texture. Oh, I cannot wait to try it out and just bring out those details. But yeah, this is a fun one. This is a really cool one. And then we have our last but certainly not least, and this one is my favorite one, which is why I was saving it. So here we have, I'm so excited for this one. This one is Isperia Law Incarnate, and this is another one that is $14.99 in its own blister, but ba-boom. Can we talk about how gorgeous this is? Quite frankly, I want to get 2 of these and have one, I like treat it like a bronze statue. I would totally paint this up in a bronze, give it a patina and everything, and then on my desk, and then paint it for, campaign use. But this is truly my favorite one out of this set, because it is a conglomeration of all the fantastic details that you can find on the other miniatures as well. So I already told you how I'm a sucker for wingspan and feathers, so clearly, clearly this one has it. So this is the front of the wings, and you can see here is the side. Look at all the texture here happening in the armor. It's just, even there's the scroll work here. And you can see how this texture is carrying through on the wings, especially the pinions, like that. It's just stunning. Definitely never-ending story vibes. Completely agree with you, Happy Little Hero Clicks. Very much get that feeling, but you can even see here on the back all this wonderful detail. Bring out my pointer again. Hopefully you can see that. Get more of these little scrolls. Top down you see. And the texture of the fur going through the tail. It's the more you look at this sculpt, the more little nuances you pick up. And these are nice and deep grooves, which when you go into paint is a fantastic feature, because those will definitely stick around and pop out beautifully as you add color to this particular miniature. And the face itself, you know, the feline nod with the nose shape. It has like this serene, almost stern expression. It's just beautiful. And I want to try and get this as best I can angled down so you can see. The details even carry through underneath. So you can see going down the chest plate area. And again, just that scroll detail. I love it. It's beautifully done. And has a very good heft to it. Like, this is a good heavy plastic. It's not one of those things you're gonna put on the table and can easily knock it over. So well weighted, beautifully detailed. I'm getting another small miniature so you can see. Let's pull out a different one. Here we go. So it gives you a sense of scale. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous sculpt. Truly, this is my favorite for the Magic the Gathering, and this is Wave 13. So when Wave 13 comes out, these will all be available. December 2nd is the target date. FLGS, let them know, hey, you want in? If you don't have an FLGS, then shop.wizkids.com is also an option for you. I'm just gonna do another little spin around of her for you. There you can see the back again. This one is my preference. However, when it comes to painting these minis, the big ones do take us a little bit of time. So I'm hoping I can get a mini that we have going that might take us a session or two to get painted up. So if there is one of these that you particularly like to see painted up, by all means, in the comments in the chat right now, please let me know which one especially caught your eyes. The goblins are also another one that could be fun to look into. One of the goblins. I think I might do the goblin guide, simply because of all those fun scrolls and the expression. And then we can have the fun trying to put like little writing onto the piece of paper he's holding. Clearly I don't want to put this one away. Even the head details. Look at that. Look at that. Look! He's so pretty! So that is the whole set. That is what you can expect with Wave 13 for the new Magic the Gathering line that will be coming out. Now, I did mention, if for some reason you don't have an FLGS and if you want to go and shop on shop.wizkids.com, there is a fun promo going on over there. Just like we have the Yeti Tykes promo happening on dndmini.com, we have something called Frostclaw. So if you go to shop.wizkids.com, this is the promo you are potentially able to get, provided you spend $50 or more and while supplies last. So if that happens and you manage to hit all those marks, you get your $50 or more and the supplies are there for it, you'll get this in a box. Okay, this is a WizKids exclusive promo. Won't be sold in stores, but it comes in this great box. You can see the artwork here for Frostclaw. Same thing on the side. You get your little bit of lore on the back. Your eyes scan the distant tree line when you hear the crunching of movement on the icy ground behind you. Quickly you turn only to find yourself staring into the cheerful grinning face of Frostclaw the snowman. The snowman's eyes suddenly flash to life as it lurches forward with a menacing grimace and reaches out to seize you in its icy clawed grip. So this is the box that it comes in. And then let's take a look at the mini itself. And I'm going to do a quick little adjustment here with focus. Now the mini is super fun. And I have to put my hand behind it because black hat disappears in black background. But you can see it's gone from sort of your classic snowman build, you know, the mush down hat, the scarf, the coal buttons, and the carrot nose, and it's kind of been twisted on itself. But here it has this gorgeous pearlescent finish. Comes pre-painted, keep that in mind, this is a pre-painted miniature. That Kelly green scarf, the bright orange carrot nose, the smushed down, I think it was once upon a time a top hat, but now it's just sort of smushed down, squished up black hat with a red band. And take a look at the arms, made of branches, but you can see here is where those claws come out to play. It is such a fun creation. And I love the black rimmed red eyes. And look at the teeth. It gonna get ya, for sure. So this is something, again, you won't be able to find this in stores. It is only on shop.wizkids.com when you spend $50 or more. But what a fun miniature to get and give as a gift this holiday season. Well, I can't believe we're talking about the holidays already. What is this? So it's one of those things where great for the holiday season to surprise someone with. I mean, you can even have fun, like maybe like add a ribbon or something and hang it on your tree if that's what you like to do. Is a fun way to present it. But think of the cool winter encounters you could create with this one across all different types of games. You know, it's like Frosty's on bad. But yeah, this is our Frostclaw promo figure for shop.wizkids.com. Get it while it's... Can we say get it while it's hot? Because is it technically hot? But get it while supplies last is really what it boils down to. So here you have the box and the mini that comes inside of it. So that is what I want to make sure I showed you guys. So again, if you're interested in any of these miniatures, let me flip back up to the main screen here. If you are interested in any of these miniatures, please first and foremost reach out to your FLGS. Let them know you want to get a hold of these minis. It is coming in Wave 13 from our Unpainted Miniatures. It is one of those things where it is a new line, so let them know it is for the new Magic the Gathering line. And you can let them know which one in particular. If you want to go back to the details, check in the description below. I made sure that you have your groupings as to who comes together in blisters, the price, as well as the SKU. So you have all the information you need right there. And it sounds like it looks like we might be having some audio issues, which hopefully that was not going the entire time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up just in case we're having some connectivity issues. And basically, if you need to go and check things out, description has everything you need. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Very much appreciated seeing you all in the chat. And I am Vee Mus'e. As always, I appreciate spending Wednesday afternoons with you. If you haven't, make sure you click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and I am going to see you next week with some more Unpainted Miniatures, only this time for our D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures, and it's going to be sort of a highlight reel of some of the news you can expect also with Wave 13, which is coming out December 2nd. Until then, I'm going to wrap this up the way I always do. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and thank you so much, everyone, and take care. Later!